Good morning, I'm Eric Yeomans. Here's what's coming up on Ignite News. The U.S. government shuts down over a dispute over Obamacare, sentencing in the CISO scandal, and a Mac repair shop opens up on campus. More coming up at 11.
Environmentally sustainable and economically sustainable.
That could most likely have an impact on.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, October 1st. I'm Greg Rosser.
And I'm Paula Tobias. Here's what's making news.
The former director and CEO of CISO are going to jail. A Hamilton jury found the two men guilty of defrauding the federal government. Ex-director Robert Salama was sentenced to 18 months in jail, and former CEO Morteza Yafapour was sentenced to 2 years in prison. The jury convicted the two on 7 counts, including fraud of $5,000. Over 150 CISO employees lost their jobs when the company declared bankruptcy in 2011. The company's finance administrator, Nice Bergaz, pleaded guilty to the theft of over $5,000. She is scheduled to be sentenced on October 18th.
2 Canadians who have been imprisoned in Egypt since mid-August may be facing murder charges. Filmmaker John Grayson and Dr. Tarek Loubani were arrested during protests over the ouster of former President Mohamed Morsi. Reports today suggest the Egyptian government has extended their detention for another 45 days as authorities investigate the case. Grayson and Loubani deny all charges. Murder carries a potential death sentence in Egypt.
The U.S. government will shut down today, putting nearly 1 million federal workers off the job and suspending most government services. Republicans in Congress refuse to raise the debt ceiling to allow funding for federal services. They are opposed to President Barack Obama's health care bill. The measure is expected to cause widespread financial turmoil.
Authorities in Chicago are investigating what caused a train crash in Chicago Monday, in which dozens of people were injured. A train full of commuters was hit by a runaway train that was supposed to be parked. Luckily, there were no serious injuries.
The federal government will be taking over licensing for medical marijuana growers in Canada. Starting today, licenses will no longer be issued to those who wish to grow their own for medicinal use. Now, anyone using the drug will have to purchase it from a licensed medical supplier. Currently, users of the medicinal drug are able to cultivate plants very affordably, but the government intends to drive prices up to nearly $8 a gram.
Mohawk College is getting back to its roots and stems and leaves with its community garden outside the F Wing. Ignite News reporter Brittany Medeiros has the story.
Tomatoes, grapes, and pumpkins are just some of the fresh produce Mohawk College is offering to students. This past June, the shovels went into the ground when Mohawk's Sustainability Office launched an on-campus garden project. Mohawk Sustainability Manager Alan Griffith explains the process of how this garden came to life.
The community garden comes out of our environmental management plan. Our ECOS committee, which is a student committee that supports environmental issues on campus, and some faculty in the School of Human Services really started putting their ideas behind what that community garden would look like. And then the sustainability office, in line with those two groups, started laying the groundwork for what a community garden was.
Griffith's main goal is to build on Hamilton's growing sustainable food system.
And it's our main mission to support sustainable food systems and this growing trend within the city of Hamilton.
The Mohawk Community Garden provides a variety of produce for the school to use, like these tomatoes here.
Another great aspect of this garden is that the produce grown is used in some of the eating places in the school, like Urban Fork and the Lunchbox. Mohawk's kitchen manager, Greg McLaughlin, seems excited about the amount of fresh ingredients used in their food.
The start of the year, we obviously were able to harvest quite a bit that we grew over the summer. There were a large number of vegetables and some fruits. We actually tried growing cantaloupe melon this summer as well, which was really cool. We also grew a lot of herbs and quite a few different types of hot peppers, so scotch bonnets, jalapenos, banana peppers. We grew the whole gamut in our garden. We made a paste out of all of those hot peppers, and that's what we're using all year to make our suicide sauce for our chicken wings.
McLaughlin hopes to redefine the way people think about their food.
And it's also good just to refine the way that we grow food, to better understand the way ingredients work, and then also to try and build the farm to fork atmosphere of freshness that we try and strive for in all of our food operations at the MSA.
Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Brittany Medeiros.
Coca-Cola is no longer the world's #1 brand. According to reports from consulting firm Interbrand, Apple comes first on its top 100 global brands list. Apple's value increased 28% over the last year and is estimated to be worth $98.3 billion US. Coca-Cola has now fallen into third place on the list, right behind Google in second.
Mohawk College was host to Demo Camp 13, as video game and software developers unveiled their newly designed products. Ignite News reporter Rachel Williams was there to check it out.
Video games, mobile apps, and the latest in software development were showcased at the Arnie for Demo Camp 13. Kevin Brown's nonprofit group, Software Hamilton, organized the event. There were 6 presentations from members of the city's tech community, debuting some pretty innovative web-based technologies.
I thought the presentations were great tonight. We had a lot of the indie gaming community in Hamilton come out. A lot of diverse games, a lot of really cool games that have kind of a specific appeal.
The event was kickstarted with keynote speaker Colin Ferguson, founder of his own gaming company, Snakehead Games. The presentations that were not specific to the video game community included Ryan Baricello's Soap Vault. This technology helps massage therapists and chiropractors document their patients' charts using web-based software. Drew Thatchuk from Advantech demoed an incentive-based app for service providers. If you go into a store and are satisfied with the service, Advantech allows the customer to upload their comments to a social media site and get rewards. Easily the most enthusiastic presenter was Dan Zen, creator of Tilty. This is a mobile game where 2 people try to balance an interactive ball in the middle of a circle while jostling with their friends.
This is an opportunity for them to use their beloved iPhone and Android and BlackBerry, and yet they're still playing with one another in the real world.
After the event, Kevin Brown shared his thoughts on future student engagement.
Any Mohawk student that's interested in becoming involved in the tech community, whether it's demoing at Demo Camp or whether it's getting involved in some other capacity, go to softwarehamilton.com. You can sign up for the newsletter, you can read the blog posts, you can go through the calendar, and I really would love to have more Mohawk students engaged in this community.
Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Rachel Williams.
If you're looking to fix your technology, the MSA has recently opened Campus Tech Repair in the Student Center. Ignite News reporter Megan Ficciolo went and checked out the new service.
Cracking the screen of a phone and spilling a drink on a laptop are just some of the gut-wrenching mishaps that come with owning tech devices. Today's schooling relies heavily on technology, and students can be seriously set back if their devices are damaged. Mohawk College's MSA understands these issues and has teamed up with the college to open up a new authorized Apple service provider, Campus Tech Repair.
With the school moving more towards a laptop and tablet kind of society or school, there's definitely a need on campus to have electronics repaired here. Students, when their laptop goes down, their tablet or their computer goes down, we know that they don't have the 3 or 4 days to wait all the time, so Campus Tech Repair is here to help them on campus. Typically you'll find, and what the customers have found over the past couple weeks that we've been opened, is we're less expensive, a lot of times faster, and at the same time we care about students because we're the MSA, so we care about your devices and that kind of stuff as well.
Software developing student Gloria Montez thinks it's a convenient service for students who may not be able to get to an off-campus service provider.
I think it's fantastic for students to be able to be on campus, and if anything happens to their computers, they can just go, get an estimate, find out if they want to get it repaired, and it's great to have it here localized, especially for the students who are residents. They don't have to worry about going to Best Buy or Future Shop.
According to Mohawk's Dean of Engineering Technology, Tony Toma, tech students will be given the opportunity for more than just repairs.
The other opportunity for our students is that there will be co-op opportunities as the business expands for students to be working in the facility. And Apple has extended a special certification course for our IT and our computer students where they can take a specialized course online and then write a test that Apple has and be a certified Apple technician, which looks great on the resume.
If you're looking to fix your technology, Apple or non-Apple products, you can find Campus Tech Repair in the Student Center in room G08. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Megan Facciolo.
A preliminary hearing has been scheduled to determine if a Toronto police officer will go to trial next spring for the shooting of Sammy Yatim. Constable James Frasillo is charged with second-degree murder in the death of the 18-year-old. Yatim was shot multiple times and tasered on an empty streetcar in Toronto earlier this summer. The incident was captured on the streetcar's surveillance cameras and video taken on a cell phone.
39 people are still missing after the 4-day attack on a Kenyan mall last week. The Red Cross's report on the missing people conflicts with the government's contention that there were no missing people. The report also states that more bodies may be found as the investigators dig through the remains of the mall. The number of missing people have dropped significantly as last week since more people have been found. Last Friday, it was reported that 59 people were still missing.
Now let's take a look at what's coming up in weather, entertainment, and sports.
Looks like it's going to be a foggy day, but we have sunshine rolling in tomorrow. I have your full forecast coming up in weather.
Coming up in an entertainment, David Bowie invades Toronto at the AGO, and Breaking Bad sets huge records in its series finale. All this and more coming up on Ignite Entertainment.
Drew Brees threw for 4 touchdowns as the Saints beat the Finns on Monday Night Football, and the puck drops on the NHL season tonight as the Leafs take on the Habs at the Bell Center. All this and more coming up in sports.
Here's a look at the stories that we told you about earlier in the show. A U.S. government shutdown is threatening to cause widespread financial turmoil. A Mac repair shop opens up on campus, and look at Mohawk's new sustainable garden.
Now let's go to Adam for our weather forecast.
Thanks, Greg. Today in London, it will be mainly foggy with a high of 14. In Windsor, it will be sunny with clear skies and a high of 13. Over in Niagara Falls, it will be foggy with a high of 14, and in Toronto, they'll see cloudy skies with a high of 14. Lastly, Hamilton will see mostly fog with a chance of sunny breaks later in the day and a high of 15. Looking at the next 24 hours in Hamilton, this afternoon will be mostly sunny with a high of 23 overnight, and skies will be mainly clear as the temperature will drop to 16 degrees. Tomorrow, we'll see more sun with a high of 16. Now taking a look at your 5-day forecast, the sun will continue throughout today and tomorrow with a high of 23 and a low of 12. Thursday we'll have a chance of thunderstorms at a high of 21 and a low of 10. Friday brings a higher chance of thunderstorms with a high of 23 and a low of 15. And moving into the weekend, the thunderstorms should turn into scattered showers at a high of 23 and a low of 16. That's all from me with your weather. Now let's check in with Chelsea for your entertainment update.
Music and fashion lovers rejoice. The David Bowie Is exhibit is at the Art Gallery of Ontario for its first North American stop. Ignite Entertainment reporter Noah Salo has the scoop.
This is ground control to Major Tom.
David Bowie is primarily known for his music, but a new 2-month exhibit at the AGO shows how important visuals are to Bowie as an artist.
David Bowie is significant in rock and roll history, probably because of the spectacle that he added. He really added the theatrical to rock and roll. He also added the persona to rock and roll. He was willing to play with the fact that rock and roll is spectacle, and anybody who participates in rock and roll is a persona. He had no problem changing his image from one album to another.
The exhibit showcases Bowie's music, costumes and artwork, and a multimedia display. Fans reacted positively.
It showed the really scope of work, the fashion, the art, the music, and the film.
It was an opportunity for me to relive my past.
It was wonderful to see all of the costumes as they actually were.
David Bowie's visual aesthetics are just as important to his persona as his music. And you can experience both at the AGO's David Bowie Is exhibit. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Noah Salo.
After a 5-season-strong stretch, Breaking Bad breaks records with its series finale. 10.3 million viewers tuned in to watch it all come to an end. AMC credits Twitter to its increase in viewers over the last season. Even though it has become more popular now than ever, Vince Gilligan, the show's creator, says this is the right time to end the show. He told Entertainment Weekly, "Through quite a bit of good luck being involved, we really did pick the right moment to leave the stage."
I thought it was all right. I feel like they closed all of the ties at the end pretty well. The only thing I would have preferred is if they would have maybe showed Jesse Pinkman and Brock, kind of some closure there. I feel like every other loose end was tied, like I said, but overall it was pretty good, pretty entertaining.
I feel like it went by so long that it ended just perfectly.
It was just a great finale. I thought I was almost in tears. Honestly, it was that good. It's way better than The Walking Dead or, I don't know, SportsCenter. It's just the best.
I thought it was pretty satisfying. It wrapped up everything pretty nicely. It was one of the better season finales that I've seen.
Good way to end it. Closed it off really good. Kind of wish I found out what happened to Jesse afterwards, but I thought it closed everything off.
Clear your schedule for today. GTA 5 is going online. Developer Rockstar Games have enabled the game for online play. It was launched this morning on PSN and Xbox Live around 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Rockstar plans to oversee players and tweak the online experience in order to deal with cheats and other issues, one of them being a server meltdown. Rockstar has dedicated servers ready in the hopes of a smooth online launch. In more gaming news, the Nintendo Wii U has a major update last night. The update includes support for Dolby Pro Logic 2 Surround for Wii games, Spot Pass from 3DS, and USB keyboard support. The update is also intended to include system stability. That's a wrap for entertainment. Let's head over to Rachel for your sports update.
Thanks, Chelsea. The Dolphins rolled into New Orleans on Monday night, but it's the Saints that are still marching to a perfect beat. Drew Brees threw for 413 yards and 4 TDs for the second time in his career as the Saints improved to 4-0 with a 38-17 win over Miami. Brees' ascension on the all-time quarterback rankings continued as he had over 25 completions for an NFL record 10th straight game and passed John Elway for 4th on the all-time completions list. Puck drops tonight for the NHL season, and what better way to start it than a historic rivalry between the Leafs and the Habs. The Leafs will be without newly acquired right winger David Clarkson, who's serving a 10-game suspension for leaving the bench during a preseason brawl. Reports say that James Reimer is set to start net for the Leafs, but coach Randy Carlyle hasn't made an official decision. Kessel's contract issues won't stand in the way, as it's speculated that he will sign an 8-year deal worth approximately $8 million a season later today. Other games on the docket tonight include Washington and Chicago and Winnipeg at Edmonton. The MLB needed game number 163 to decide the final wildcard team as the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Texas Rangers 5-2. Texas couldn't stop Rays third baseman Evan Longoria from continuing his hot hitting on the last day of the season, finishing a triple short of the cycle. Rays lefty David Price was unstoppable, pitching a complete game with 4 strikeouts. Tampa will play the Indians on Wednesday in the wildcard playoff game. That's all for sports. Now here's Cole with Tech Talk.
Good morning, Mohawk. Cole Sutton Greenhall here for Tech Talk. This week we'll be discussing Valve's plans of their Steam operating system, Steam controller, and Steam machines, all a push for Valve to bring PC gaming to the living room. Valve has been hard at work developing its own operating system based around their popular game client, Steam. Once the Steam OS is released, it will be completely free and built with living room gaming in mind. In addition to the Steam operating system, Valve is creating a Steam controller a new brand of controller that uses 2 track pads instead of analog sticks like on traditional controllers for the 360 and PlayStation 3. These 2 new track pads bring a new level of precision and depth that has not been able to be achieved on console controllers. Valve is hoping to have their new OS, controller, and dedicated Steam machines out to the public sometime in 2014. That's all this week for Tech Talk Mohawk. I'll see you next week when we're discussing the latest in tech information.
A man faces charges after allegedly stealing wires from hydro poles on Barton Street. A search found he had long steel wire and wire cutters on him, while police discovered a number of hydro poles on the street were missing their wires. The man is on a promise to appear for theft and mischief charges. Now here's Taylor with Pay It Forward.
Hey Mohawk, I'm Taylor Visser, and today we'll be talking about Pay It Forward Day. The last Thursday of every April is nationally recognized as Pay It Forward Day, where people are encouraged to do good deeds. You can visit their website, www.payitforwardday.com, for more details. Pay It Forward Day is all about people from all walks of life giving to someone else and making a positive difference. At last count, there was more than 38 countries around the world participating in the day. So why Pay It Forward? To encourage all of us to embrace the incredible power of giving. To show each other that we care and that there is love, hope, and magic all around us. And to know that we may only be one person in this world, but to one person at one time, we are the world. There are so many wonderful ways to get involved in paying it forward. Of course, you don't need to wait until Pay It Forward Day to make a difference in someone else's life. You can start today. As you can see, Mohawk, you don't have to wait till Pay It Forward Day to do a good deed. I'm Taylor Visser, Ignite News.
And that's all your news for Tuesday, October 1st. I'm Greg Rosser.
And I'm Paula Tobias. For more news coverage, check out our website at ignitenews.ca. Thanks for watching, Mohawk.
Blood, and the seal goes ow, ow, ow. But there's one sound that no one knows.